I was watching The Different Knock. The Different Knock is by Alex. What I forgot his name. YouTube guy does Arsenal content, heavy Arsenal content. That's all he does, and he goes and unpacks certain things and cooks certain things. Right, gives you context as to why, when, how things are happening. Things are just not black and white. Right, cool. So now Alex has a resource that he shows there, right? And it's a screenshot of a tweet, right? Like a thread from this one guy, right? So now in this thread, in this thread, I'm like, okay, some interesting words were shown there. Interesting things were shown there. And they got me thinking. So this is the thread, right? So now it's Twitter post. This Twitter post. I read it and it just speaks to the the narrative that the league is boring, the league, or the Premier League, that is. The Premier League is just not it. It just doesn't have that Ebedepes that people speak about, you know. These legends are talking about if Arsenal win it, they must even give them a trophy. Boscolos, Nevel, Carrega, all these people, you know. And if Arsenal win the league, needs to be a huge asterisk and so on. And with that, there's a context of the league is much more difficult to win. The the reliance on set pieces, there's a reason why it is there. And sometimes it's not a reliance on set pieces, it's just emphasizing a different way to win, right? It's tweaking certain things so you can get an edge over your opponent, which makes sense. Because every time we need to understand that other teams do tactics too. It's not just your team that does tactics, it just isn't, right? Now, so it speaks to Arteta has spoken about how difficult the league is. Pep has spoken about how difficult the league is. All these things, right? And one of the things is that he speaks on is due to the rise of man-to-man pressing. Teams are being forced to rely more on set pieces. That's leading to a lack of open play creativity, right? Which is very valid. So, as we know, right? As we know that we knew what positional play is, right? The four channels, the new horizontal channels, and no more than two people in a vertical channel, no more than four people in a vertical channel, no more than three, no more than two in a vertical, no more than three in a horizontal channel. And the field is separated in two specific zones, right? You don't want two people in one certain zone, right? And that's a way to make sure that you are efficient in how you use the field, ensuring that there's always a passing option, right, to progress the ball. And then we spoke about, we know about patterns of play, that you do this, that, and the third, and then you work your way up, and you find numerical, it can be numerical superiority or qualitative superiority, quantitative or qualitative superiority in certain ways, right? So it can be numerical, we've already have a 2v1, or it can be a qualitative, where it is a 1v1. This person that's got the ball can dribble past this person. These are all this, I'm just really running through it. Very bare bones, nothing crazy. Right, cool. That happened. So then with these patterns of plays, other teams on and see there are these patterns of play. This happens. Right? So therefore, what we are going to do is, because you know the patterns that you want to do, let's set up in such a way that we go man for man pressing. Man for man. So for instance, the Arsenal game against Brighton. It's Hertzler. Is the coach Hertzler. It was a man for man press. That we are going to go. And you are going to take a man. Occupy a man. And stop them from progressing the ball. Press that thing high. Right? And it seemingly works. Right? So now, there'll obviously be a lack of open play goals because there's lack of space. Right? There's also the idea or the reality that some teams, how they set up in such a way that they stop the opposition from playing, stop the opposition from scoring, right? So we talk about the low block. So to cake and ensure that there are no spaces in this centrally, right? And now if you're a team and you're facing 11 people that are congested inside a box, it makes it very difficult to score. There are no spaces to take a shot, to create, and so on and so forth, right? So now, when that happens, you're like, oh, damn, what's another way you can win this game? Because at the end of the day, what we care about is results. Cool, right? Now, this man for man. Maya speaks about this man for man problem that is being faced. One of the best ways, solutions, right? The carrying solution, which is obviously not every team can do this, which is qualitative superiority, which is so PSG have a team full of carriers cannot be stifled by man-to-man pressing. If the opponent gets beaten 1v1, the press crumbles. Because at the end of the day, all the team wants to do is break the press, right? Break whatever press it is, then everything falls apart. This is primarily what PSG are, right? Cool. But now the thing is, not everybody can afford, not a lot of teams can't afford to have a midfield where you have players that are qualitatively superior to their opponent 1v1. It's very difficult to have that. It's very, as much as there's funds that you need to dole out to get that kind of player profile across your team, there's also the thing of there aren't all those players available that you can all have in your team. Doesn't work that way, right? Cool. Which I'm like, this is very fair. This is very fair. Very fair, sorry. Right? Dynamic superiority, positional planning, pinning, cool. I don't want to get into that. All right. This is what really stuck with me, which is the dynamic superiority. Dynamic superiority, associative superiority, relationism. So relationism is pretty much a less structured. It's the opposite of positional play. If we were to put it on a continuum, right? On a continuum, it'll be positional play, which is more rigid. Relationalism, which is more fluid, right? Which is more fluid and more unpredictable. And as opposed to a positional play, is quite predictable. That you need to be here in this zone when this person is in that zone, and right. I hope that makes sense. If you put players in close proximity without constant positional pinning, you create an environment for flicks, combination, 1-2s, dropping and arriving, etc. For a man-to-man approach, it is simply not practical to keep following these movements when executed properly. Now this thing, that part, when you talk about relationism, right? I remember relationism when I first heard about it. It was a Brazilian or a Argentinian side. I think it's Brazilian. It's a Fluminense. I believe it's Fluminense. Right. They were the ones that, I want to say pioneer, but that's the first time I really properly heard of it, and it became like a thing, right? Sharp. So as they're saying, it's about ensuring that. So with relationism, it's congesting your space with your players, right? In such a way that how we move is in relation to the other, right? In an unpredictable way, right? So as they say, you're popping the ball, 1-2s dropping in, arriving within this somewhat congested space, more fluid, more unpredictable, and so on and so forth, right? So now if you're man to man, while your player is, one moment your player is there, then the next, then he's there, it's hard to track. It's very hard to track. And when you're moving this way and that way, your defensive organization falls apart. Hence, relationism is a thing. Right? Now, the thing is, the reason I'm thinking about this, it's obviously how Pep has gone about doing things, right? Where at first Jeremy Doku was out wide, and you see him more central. You look at Semenyo Ezo now. Semenyo Ezo, and he's playing, as you can see, he's more central. More central, everyone's closer together. So the technically gifted, qualitatively superior players are closer to one another, and they are more central, and So, and I was like, oh shit, that's actually happening, right? So it's like, wah. So you have Shaky, you have Semenyo, you have Bernardo Silva, you have Gerara, Doku, you have Haaland. So all these people are close to each other and we're moving, popping up the ball, right? And you can even say Jeremy Doku, one of his best performances, the little stretch that he had, he was now within the central channel and in the half space, as opposed to being out there taking players on, right? I was like, oh damn, actually it's a thing. So you got to figure out a way, you got to figure out a solution to these problems, and that's one of the things that Pep has done, right? Now this thing made me think about Orlando Pirates. One of my frustrations when I watch Orlando Pirates is that we are so narrow. We are extremely narrow. Extremely narrow, right? It used to frustrate me because you get Oswin drifting in centrally. Rele automatically drifts in centrally. Let's say Tito's even playing. He's obviously central. Then let's say Mahopa's playing central. Everyone is like congested. Then Mbate can join in, right? So, and every single time, what they're hoping for, what they're trying to do is Rashapa 1-1-1-1. It's always as I call it, an up back through. Right. So up back through, it's you pass the ball. Let's say Tito. Right, let's just say it'll be a Tito to Mahopa, that's the up. The back would be from Mahopa to Rele, then the through would be Rele to Oswell. Let's just say that will run in behind. So up back, that's what up back through is, right? So, and we're constantly, one, two, little and it frustrates me because I'm just like, no, is there no plan C, right? Can we not go wide, right? It's good to have a plan A, which is that, which I understand. But now, even at times, Tsapang Morem will also at times have to drop into that little fold of the gravitational pull towards the center. And I just feel like Tepang Moremi is not built like that. He wants to be out wide and cross, You see the cross that he gave to my boy Evlala for the 3-0 against Chiefs, right? Sharp. Now, so that's the Pirates thing, right? Let me think about the Pirates thing. Now, going back to what I was saying earlier on, one of the guys that has been following me from OG followers of mine, Crazy T. Crazy T is like, dog, jumps onto one of my lives. It's like, dog, do you think Rele is better than Mshishi? Themba Zwane. And I'm like, whoo. My natural instinct is to be like, Mshishi, no. That's my natural instinct because, guys, Mshishi is like in that pocket, in the pocket, he is elite. You give him the ball at any height, at any weight, at any angle, he is magic. He's able to hold that ball and create something for somebody, even for himself. He is the change agent. He is the game breaker. Right. And I'm like, really? Better than Mshishi? No, man, it can't be. It can't be, right? Bet. So I was like, you know what? When we say better is a very subjective thing. Better at what? What do you mean better? Right? So now when you say better and we use such terms, we then get to a point where I will have to determine what better is for myself. All right? And figure out what better could possibly mean. Right? Sharp. So I'm like, okay. How do we determine when someone is better? We go to the numbers. We go to the numbers. Because as I spoke about last week, so don't get caught in the trap of umnandi, iyalazi, because at the end of the day, you can be mnandi, but are you able to now affect the team towards winning? Are you able to get to a point where what you are doing on the field contributes to getting the 3 points, contributes to getting the trophies, contributes to, being the destabilizer against your opponent, right? Sharp. So let me go to the numbers. So right now, right there, right there. Let me just open it up here. These are Mshishi's numbers here. Right? So these are Mshishi's numbers. His best season. Right? This is Mshishi's numbers. Obviously, as you can see, it's from Transfer Market. Right? These are Mshishi's best numbers from this season, which you don't really count because I was injured and so on, even last season, to 18-19. Right? These are Mshishi's best numbers. Where he played all the competitions. In terms of numbers, this is his best. 14 goals, 12 assists. 14 goals, 12 assists. Everyone has that season. Right? Where you're like, you know what? You're going double and a winja. Uyinja. You're an ninja, bro. And in this season, this is all of his things. It's not necessarily firstly, this cup A, PSL, yeah, hably. Oh, my God. This thing. Anyways. So those are his numbers, right? So you think to yourself, I think to myself, damn. These are pretty good, to be quite honest. Almost a double-double. Oh, man. Almost a double-double in the league. Almost a double-double. Which is 25 games, 11 goals, 8 assists. That's 19 goal contributions in 25 games. Those are serious numbers. Serious numbers. And as you know, won the league this season. Obvious that you are not the end of output, which is for me what makes a player great. That for me means umonate, umnandi dog, because umnandi bako affects the outcome of games, affects results, gets you trophies. This is major, right? So 19 goal contributions in 25 games, ridiculous. All in all, 14 and 12. As you can see, cup-wise, Champions League, to 8 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. M10 8, 1 goal in 3 games, right? But he's got a contribution in every facet. If he's not scoring, he's assisting. If he's not assisting, he's scoring. So, bro, across the board. Across all comps. Can't deny. You can't fight it. You can't deny it. Then, I think to myself, Mshishi is a star. Mshishi should be superior to Rele. Then I look at Rele's best season. This is Rele's best season. 24-25. Where he became is a Prince Ama 2K. 12 and 15. 12 and 15. Zwane 14 and 12. 12 and 15. And I'm like, whoo, okay. 12 and 15 is double-double. Double-double. Right. 27 and 49. 27 and 49. 26 in 41. If you look at it, Mshishi, via the numbers, their best seasons. They are Umshishi is better. But I think to myself, just drawing back to the narrowness of Ilentuzana Pirates, because one of the reasons why Crazy T asked this question, I think, is because Rele has stopped being completely. I don't think he ever was an out and out winger. He will always, drift centrally and be involved in the play. But it's happening more now than ever. Right? More now than ever. Kare, I'm just like, oh, 10. Damn. And he's seemingly striving more and more in this little 10 role. But now, this is not even really at his peak. I believe the previous one, this is Themba Mshishi at his peak, I would think. Right? To do 12 and 15 compared to 14 and 12, like, you are comparable. You are comparable. Comparable to the great Mushishi, bruv. Now, for me, what I'm thinking to myself is really continuing in this vein, continuing drifting in, continuing being this number 10. Could it get to a point where Urele surpasses Umshishi? Could it be that Urele gets to a point where he is the game, he is him? Pirates doesn't move without him. For anything to happen from an offensive standpoint, it's a makarele. Could he get to a point where what Ribeiro was to Sundowns, Rele can do that? Rele can be the new Ribeiro. Could that be a thing? Rele still very young, dog. Still very young. And in Akwense, he can only get better. The assumption is that his trajectory will do this. Because with time, with experience, with more game time and more experience, gets to a point that you get exposed to more, and you will improve. You will understand the game better. You will understand in ways in which to affect the game. So now, is it possible that Rele can be the next Ribeiro for Pirates? I think so. How long that will take, I guess sure. How long that will take, I guess sure. But it's not out of the realms of reason that Rele can be that guy, bro. That Rele can be Himothy in this league. That he's uqubula zonke wonke amathufi, wonke ama-individual awards can go to Rele. Because this 24-25 is 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago. And still young. So I don't know. But I'll stick my neck out and say he will be the Ribeiro. What Ribeiro was to Sundowns is what Rele will be to South Africa Pirates. That's honestly what I see. That's what I see happening. Because if your stats are this comparable to the likes of a great Themba Zwane, where a conversation can be had that is really possibly comparable to or better than Themba Zwane, the fact that you can even have the conversation speaks to the talent that is Rele Prince Yama 2K Mofokeng. Honestly, I want that. I want the player from my team to be the guy, to be Himothy of the entire league. Not just his team, of the entire league. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. And listen, I'm sticking my neck out that it's going to be that guy. It's going to be that guy.